Joyride, 1957, a novel of intrigue by J.P. Wasmiller, Chapter 100. Rebecca and the German were sitting at a table in an open-air seafood restaurant at the fish market in Seattle, Washington. The two were planning out their future with no thought for the present situation. "What do you think, Liebchen?" the German said. "I want to marry you, but," Rebecca, the Israeli agent, said, "we're in love, deep love. I don't care what the world thinks." "Dearie, it's only 12 years since all the world cared," Rebecca argued. He skipped ahead. "The easiest place to get married is Las Vegas. They don't ask any questions. Buy a license, have the ceremony, and we're forever one." "Dear, don't you know my countrymen are, even as we speak, hunting down Nazis, especially officers?" Rebecca grasped his hand across the small table. The agent kept chewing on his Pacific salmon as he tried to sort out a plan for the two of them to be one. "Did you see that?" Rebecca said, squeezing his hand tightly. "What?" he said. "Did you see that?" she said, loudly drawing out the words. "I think that was the guy." She stared down into the fish market. "I'll be right back." She jumped up and ran by the fish flinger, but just as she ran by, the fish flinger threw a halibut, and it nailed her right in the back. It knocked her to the ground. She was dazed, but was helped up by the very apologetic fish flingers. I'm okay," she repeated as the flingers wiped off her back with towels. She thanked them, and her beau helped her back to her seat. She began rubbing her now sore lower back. She was no longer hungry, but watched the German eat. "What did you see, dear?" he asked. "I think I saw him," she said. "Who? Who did you see?" He grasped her hand, now just about finished with his salmon. "That guy, James. I think I saw him walk right by here," she said. "Do you have any aspirin?" "Sure." He pulled a little tin box from his pocket and put 2 aspirin in her hand. The little tin box had the SS logo on it. She washed them down with white wine. "James? No, he's dead. They had his funeral. It was in the papers. He's dead." "I don't think so. I think I saw him," she said adamantly. "Well, I'll check it out with my superiors. Are you finished, dearie?" he said. "I'm getting sore. Take me back to the hotel, and you can check on James." "I still think Las Vegas is our best option," he pressed. "Please, take me to the hotel." He paid the check, and they returned to their room at the Olympic Hotel on University Street. After getting his love Rebecca in the hot bath, he went down to check on James. He went to the front desk and asked if James was checked into the hotel. "And the last name?" the clerk said. "I don't know. Do you have any James in this hotel?" the German said, realizing his question was ludicrous. After checking for a minute, the clerk said, "I have 27 Jameses checked in. If you have the last—" "Thanks. I'll try to get his name," the German said. He stared around the huge lobby and then went up to the dining room, but saw no one that looked remotely like James. He turned and got on the elevator. 14, he told the elevator operator. He wanted so to marry his love, but knew the obstacles were great. As he headed toward his room, he noticed a gentleman in a deep green suit walking his way. The man walked by him and around the corner. The German doubted it meant anything, but he wondered a bit. He realized more than ever that he probably was a marked man, at least to the Israelis. He was also coming to the realization that after he and Rebecca were married, they would likely have to disappear, probably to Mexico or South America. Love would be tested, but he knew it would win. It had to. Exactly 1 floor up from the German's room in the Olympic Hotel, a young man had his map spread all over a king bed. James did not see, rather recognize Rebecca or the German at the fish market. He was not a big fan of fish, but was curious to see what the world-famous fish market was all about. After spending an hour there, he walked down toward his hotel and passed by the Capitol Grill. He stepped in and asked for a table for one. The hostess said that all reservations for the evening were taken, but he could dine in the bar. He did so. While chewing on sourdough bread and sipping on some Cabernet, he watched the hostess as she worked away, greeting and seating customers. She was at least 6 feet tall in heels and had long, dark hair and dark eyes. It had been a while, and he wondered. Then he saw the male co-host eyeing her and decided to dig into his arriving Caesar salad. As he devoured the wonderful salad, he stared out the window and reviewed the events of the past week. He had witnessed the massive explosion of his Lincoln Continental Mark II that he should now be driving. He instinctively walked the other way in the city of Kamloops, and after a few blocks found a bronze '57 Chevrolet Nomad with a white top. He hotwired it and headed south.